So GW just dropped the brand new Fulgrim Demon Prince of Slaanesh model, and newer fans to the lore and the IP might be wondering, why does he look like that? And that's what we're going to get into today. Fulgrim is the Primarch of the 3rd Legion of Space Marines known as the Emperor's Children. Primarchs were created and then they were all just accidentally distributed to various planets, and Fulgrim grew up on the planet of Chemos. And Chemos, not a ton is known about it, but it was a very bleak, sort of gray planet where things like self-expression and colors were very difficult to find. And Fulgrim grew up, and because of a lot of kind of the formative trauma in those first couple of years, he became very, very obsessed with sword fighting as well as the pursuit of total perfection. Eventually, the Emperor came down to each of the Primarch's planets and was like, hey, did you know that you're my genetically enhanced son? Let's go get you back to your Space Marines and get you out there conquering planets for Daddy. So Fulgrim and the Emperor returned to Terra, and he met his legion of the Emperor's Children. Now, because of his absence, as all the Primarchs were away on their other planets being discovered, Fulgrim's gene seed suffered as a result, and his Marines were very few, and a lot of them had some, let's just say, developmental issues. The Emperor got them reunited with Fulgrim and presented them with a speech so rousing, Fulgrim decided to name his legion the Emperor's Children as a tribute to Dad. And he was like, oh my God, my dad is perfect. I want to be perfect, just like Dad. This is important later. It was during this time of pursuing perfection through the art of swordsmanship that Fulgrim befriended Ferris Manis, who was another brother Primarch of his. And both of them had quite the passion for weaponsmithing, and Ferris and Fulgrim each made each other a perfect weapon. Fulgrim made Ferris a hammer called Forgebreaker, and Ferris made Fulgrim a blade called Fireblade, and both of them kind of had like a little gift exchange and declared that these were the most powerful weapons they could make, and vowed to use them for good during the Great Crusade to win back all these planets for the glory of their dad. All of this is going very well and very good for Fulgrim until the Emperor's Children arrive on planet 28-3, which is home to Xeno species known as the Lair. When they get to the surface of the planet, they have found that the Lair have been corrupted by the demon Slaanesh, and they are in pursuit of excess and perfection, which, as you know, Fulgrim's really susceptible to. He finds a sword there called the Blade of the Lair, and unbeknownst to him, there is a demon of Slaanesh inside of this blade. And it starts to tell him things. Go pursue perfection harder. Go do some weird, indulgent Slaanesh shit. This Blade of the Lair ends up being a cursed chaos object. It is possessed by a demon of Slaanesh, and it starts to talk to Fulgrim, and he really thinks that these are kind of like urges coming from within his own mind, but it is a Slaaneshi demon. It's telling him to be more indulgent, pursue more excess, and to really pursue that perfection super hard, which, Fulgrim's already really, really good at. It's during this time that Horus is also falling to chaos. Those voices in his head, as well as those conversations with Horus, convince him to betray his father, to follow his brother towards Chaos Undivided, and that pursuit of perfection basically takes him into demonhood. Before he really gets too far into it, though, he has a final conversation with his brother Ferris. He's like, hey man, this Chaos Undivided stuff, this is really good stuff. I think you should come join me over here. And Ferris says no. They fight. And it comes down to Fulgrim basically being unable to unalive his brother over these ideologies. And at this point, the demon in his sword sort of overtakes him for that moment of weakness where he can't do it, can't unalive his brother with his sword that his brother literally made for him. And so it begins his apotheosis, which is your metal AF vocabulary word of the day, which basically means a descension into demonhood. Once Slaanesh is at this level of demonic possession, and at this point pursuing the heresy as closely as he is, he decides that he must have more perfection and more power. So he calls on his brother Perturabo, or Peter Turbo, if you will, to essentially take him to the place where the rise of Slaanesh, she who thirsts, happens to the Eldari. Because he just wants to see something. And when he goes and visits all those souls that Slaanesh essentially ate to rise to become a god of chaos, the apotheosis is complete, and he is now a full demon primarch of Slaanesh. Hence all of the extra arms and all of that other fun and really cool and great stuff that you see on this model. So yeah, that's in a nutshell the Fulgrim story. Like all the other demon primarchs, it's not pleasant, it's kind of sad, and yeah, another real Debbie Downer with a real cool model. Anyways, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.